What's up, YouTube? We are back with another video. It is Monday. As promised, I am releasing a video today, so happy Monday. Today was a bit of a drag for me. I kind of woke up in not such a great mood. There's times where I go mute and don't want to talk to anyone when something traumatic happened to me. Like anything traumatic, like someone broke a boundary or someone hurt my feelings to the part where I have to process it. So I just spent all day processing my emotions and things like that. That's typically what I do. And then I tap into imagination on how I would love to feel, and I pretty much bring myself out of it. So this video today is a little bit about that. As I told you guys before, sorry, I did not mean to block you. As I told you guys before, I will not edit because I don't have anyone helping me edit, but I will be as quick as possible with the things that I want to share and give you gems and tips on, okay? So this morning, I decided that I want to do a video sharing some of the coping mechanisms I did when I was a foster kid and some of the coping mechanisms that I do now that might could work for you and your children. So some of the things I did when I was a kid, I was reading and writing a lot. That was really a good space for me. I really like my me time a lot. My foster mom used to try to get me to go out and hang out with people, but I just didn't trust people at the time, at the age, especially being in a foster system where I was ripped from my mom at 10 years old. So I was old enough to know see my life change right before my eyes. So one of the things I would do was I would journal in my journal a lot. I mean, a lot. And then I would put music in my ears and I would literally imagine myself with a whole nother family. Like, I had this ideal mom. She was a nurse and she was married to my dad, who was an entrepreneur, who had his own business, blah, blah, blah. Like, I had it down to the T. Like, I knew what outfits I wore, what bus I rode, what school I went to, how smart I was, what my friends were, even what down to like what my boyfriend looked like, who became my future husband. Like, I had a whole idea of what life looked like for me at the age, like I was 15 when I started daydreaming, because the life I was in was not healthy for me. And it was just like all the mean things she would say. I would be a crackhead like my mom. I'll have a whole bunch of kids. I would never amount to nothing. So I didn't want to own those things. So I would literally go to bed early just to feel myself in a whole different world, so that my world so I didn't get sucked into my world. Now, some people will say, well, that's delusional or that's not coping. It is coping, because you have to exercise those excited hormones in your body so that those type of energies that they were projecting on me, I didn't accept. So being 16, I could have easily started like, you know, looking to drugs and things like that. But the more they pushed to me that I wasn't going to be anything, I wasn't going to do this. I got a job at 16 years old. I was excited about that. I will tell you guys, like, the core belief in why I live the way I live, to where I feel like I owe everybody something, based off, of course, subconsciously what I was taught as a child. But those habits are, you know, being broken as well. So I would write and just daydream and just feel myself in a whole different just world. So when I came out of that, my foster mom didn't have a disrespectful child. I looked at her like, even though she was mean, I saw my ideal mother. So it helped me process, or it helped me not be so disrespectful. It helped me not just be like, you're evil, and, you know, like just become this disobedient child that they would call me because she would say things that would hurt my feelings. I just looked at her like, oh, she's just having a bad day. Like, when I tell you guys, people might think it's weird, and it was therapy for me, but I had an ideal family. So when I woke up into my real reality, I looked at my family that was there in front of me like, oh, this is like my mom. Like, I had to literally, it took a lot of brain work to do that too, not to mention. But I like that space better than just being sad all the time and crying all the time and trying to accept everything she was trying to tell me. And maybe I am going to be a crackhead. Maybe I am going to be have a whole bunch of babies. Maybe I won't amount to nothing. But I didn't want to accept that. I want to accept that there was more to life other than what I was seeing in front of me. Like, this cannot be life. This is not normal. Like, the things that are being said to me as a foster kid, this is not normal to me. So And it could be a gift that luckily for me, I was able to read in between the lines to like, this is not a normal behavior of a healthy human. So being 10 years old all the way up till I was teen, like they couldn't conform me. They couldn't make me conform, but I wasn't disrespectful. So those are the ways that I cope, like writing in my journal, listening to healthy music, watching funny movies, daydreaming about what life looks like if I had the perfect mom and perfect dad, but we had our disagreements. That stuff really helped me come through a very traumatic experience in my life. Fast forward to me being an adult, I use those same tools. They even teach you manifestation. You know, you got to feel it, dream it, touch it. That stuff works. I didn't even know being 14, 10 years old, all the way up until I was an adult, that's what I was doing. And this is why I want you guys, if you are a homeschool mom or any type of mom, don't take away your kids' imagination. If they have an imaginary friend, let them have one. If they have a fake dog, let them have one. If they have ways to cope, let them cope. Just get to know their coping skills. A lot of times, like my kids can believe in the tooth fairy and Santa because it stimulates their imagination. If you want to go to full force and dress up as a fairy for your kids, nothing's wrong with that. We live in a time now where people are taking away imagination, and it's taking away people's way to manifest, be creative, believe, trust their own thoughts, feel that they deserve to live an amazing life. So this is my experience as a foster kid, and it helped me with my parenting skills as an adult. Like, I let my daughter have imaginary friends. My boys never had one, but I let them stimulate their imagination and get real creative and things like that. So not sure what your coping skills are or how you cope, but what is something that you do as far as when you're going through something or you're dealing with something? What do you do to cope? Like, do you write? Do you read? Do you dance? Like, do you go shopping? Some people go shopping, even though that's kind of like an addiction, but some people know how to balance it to where it's therapy for them. So I would love to see your comments, your coping skills in the comments below on what do you do when you're going through something? How do you cope to come out of it so that you're not consuming and allowing yourself to sit in that depression for days and days and days and days? So sorry, y'all know I'm not, it's hot in Vegas, everything's going on. So I'm not going to edit the video, but I will eventually once I build a team. I really appreciate you for watching this video. Now, I know we want to talk about more so